morning, good afternoon, good evening, or it's soon, good morning. This is Eagle Eyes on Tech. Alright. You have no idea how many people came to me the week after I talked about the NBC Discord story, trying to bring it to my attention. It was stunning how many people brought that up to my attention the week after I talked about it. Needless to say, that's making the rounds. I have some updates on that. But first, TERA and NMAS Entertainment are back in my spotlight. The reason being is that there has been an exploit that is actually really, really big within the game's chat service. According to multiple sources, but first posted by a Reddit user with easily the most childish name known to man, that I'm not even going to bother saying, but you can find it pretty easily. You probably already know what it is. He has discovered an exploit within the HTML-based in-game chat engine that allows data mining and, more importantly, creating code on target computers and executing said code. Just that last part alone makes this a huge deal and a huge vulnerability. The moment you can execute code means you can do anything you want. You can take control of a host's computer. You can implant malware. You can input keyloggers. You can do anything to the target. Now, this isn't on NMAS Studio to fix. This is on Bluehole Studio to fix. Bluehole Studio is the original creator of TERA. They also make a whole lot of other games. They are also well known for making PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds and fighting a cheating war there. And they're currently working on some other games as well. Well, right now there is no way without some serious antivirus software that can pick this up, which, by the way, this is extremely difficult to pick up to actually protect yourself. There is one tool that can fairly effectively block this exploit, but not completely. And oddly enough, it's the TERA Proxy program. TERA Proxy, if you don't remember from our previous chats about TERA, is a tool that was developed by the TERA community so that those who are not within the general region of the servers could play the game pretty well. Well, TERA Proxy can block this exploit. But, if you remember, NMAS went aggressive in banning everything related to the TERA Proxy program. And instead basically flipped off everyone who used the program to be able to play their game. In addition to silencing people on their forums for even mentioning TERA Proxy, or even mentioning that, you shouldn't be banning the community. So now, NMAS has a huge problem sitting in their lap. Sorry about the Discord noise. They have this huge exploit that they can't do anything about. So what do? They delete and ban anyone talking about the exploit. The only mention of this huge, underlying huge exploit was the fact that maintenance was made. When was this? Last Thursday? Saying that they were aware of it, that there was emergency server maintenance and it's been fixed. Except it hasn't been fixed. Multiple sources has confirmed that even to this day, the exploit is still there. And not only does it affect the English Terra, but all versions of Terra. So that is the answer of NMAS. To just pretend they fixed it. Now, I know a couple of you said, but they can't just let the game die. It's their cash cow. They can't just... They can't just shut down the game or anything in that. The problem is... This is actually worse than doing nothing. They are trying to pretend that the problem doesn't exist. Granted, ever since the first fiasco of NMAS Entertainment, the last time the community of Terra had a problem with their policy, the player base has been shrinking. This is still mind-blowingly bad. It just is. It's like a cancer patient trying to ignore the fact they have cancer. You can't just ignore that. Alright. Enough about Terra, the MMO that nobody knows about. Run by a hilariously incompetent publisher. Let's instead talk about how NBC still is keeping their piece of wonderful propaganda from last month up there. So last week, as I said earlier, I talked about the NBC video article entitled How Gamers Are Facilitating the Rise of the Alt-Right. And obviously, we're going to go a little political, but not that much. There's been a lot of revelations about their video that even I missed. Multiple sources have confirmed that during this article, NBC straight up photoshopped tweets to put out this piece of propaganda. So, not only in this news article that NBC put out trying to claim that all gamers who use Discord are members of the neo-Nazis, they also went and falsified the evidence and then deleted every single YouTube comment that pointed this out. The problem is... Here's the thing. Anyone who listens to this knows that this whole piece is BS. Anyone in the gaming community knows it's BS. Anyone who uses Discord knows it's BS. The problem is that there is no major news outlet that is calling the BS on NBC. No one, not even Fox. In fact, the biggest name that is calling out NBC on this, unfortunately, as much as I hate to admit it, the site with the most name recognition that's calling it out is InfoWars. That is what's really depressing. InfoWars, the website that is the home for every tinfoil hat wearer in the universe, is the only big name site that is calling out NBC on this. I've tried looking for anyone other than Alex Jones to call it out. And unfortunately, you have a few like Know Your Meme that called it out. This other site, Fotisi, I've never heard of these people before until today, called about on it. Unfortunately, sites like the Rolling Stones is spreading this nonsense. I don't know what to say. Unjust Man in the chat says Breitbart. I don't know. Breitbart didn't come up when I did a Google search for it. Let me check Breitbart. Not that it matters. Breitbart only barely has more trust than InfoWars. Here, let me just search on Breitbart. Discord. Here. Live on a podcast. Yeah, the only positive hit is August 15, 2017. Discord bans alt-right servers and users following Charlottesville. So they talk about that, which that was, that was Discord doing the right thing and then publicly announcing they went and did the right thing. The rest is just false negatives for the word Discord. The point is when pieces of literal fake news like this come out of big names, far too many people believe in it. And I hope that enough people communicate and talk about how BS this is from NBC so that NBC either A, becomes uncreditable, or B, NBC stops putting out pieces of blatant false propaganda like this. Because, in the end, NBC is trying to connect neo-Nazis and hate groups with people who put out announcements like this.
Imagine your friend is eating a delicious box of cookies. Now, imagine you can see who they're eating the cookies with, whether it's chocolate chunk or chocolate chip, what the shape and sultry texture of the cookie is. And now, imagine that instead of a box of cookies, it is a video game. Now take a big step back, because we're about to break this metaphor down. Discord now supports rich presents, which means developers can add nutritional facts to your game playing status so you can display all the flavors and carbs about the games you're playing. Things like current match duration, the character you're playing as, or whatever the dev wants to hook up. We support all flavors of cookies and all types of games. Some games even let you invite friends, join parties, or launch spectator mode through Discord. Less fussing around with adding each other on other services, more playing of the games. These lovely developers have already integrated, and there's more to come. Want the integration for your favorite game? Just ask the devs to hook it up, and maybe send them a big box of cookies as a thank you. I love me some cookies, and I want to know if you love cookies too.
Because when I think hate groups, I think companies that try to analogize cookies to new features. Yeah. In all seriousness, no, let's actually move on from NBC being degenerates to the announcement I just played, which actually is straight from Discord, about them supporting Rich Presence. And pretty much the announcement pretty much says it all, right? It's a new feature. Lets people look over your name and actually see how well you're doing at a game. Simple stuff. Unjust Man in the chat's wondering where the swastika was in the video. Those of you listening to the audio version, I 100% guarantee you can go look up on YouTube Discord Rich Presence, and I guarantee you inside the cookie video, you will not find a swastika. I guarantee it. Though Grim does raise a good point. Now I do want a cookie. How am I going to get a cookie? The point is that it's just a messenger service, and they really are doubling down on the whole point that they are primarily for gamers, considering the fact they just launched a feature that its sole purpose is showing how good you're doing at games. What more is there to say? Alright. I'm going to be right back. When we come back, we have to talk about some major AMD Intel news, the Razer smartphone, and a new release from NVIDIA. I will be right back. Hey everyone, Eagle Falcon here. Normally I take this time to talk about how you can support the podcast and how we don't have any advertisers, it's all supported by you, and blah 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 blah. Which, by the way, still can do, twitch.tv/Eagle_Falcon, cheer, subscribe, and whatnot. All of that supports the podcast. But we are going to be changing things up in the near future. We are working right now on a website that is going to be the home of Eagle Eyes on Tech, including a built-in player that'll play the live broadcasts of Eagle Eyes on Tech when they happen, in addition to kind of revamping the supporting us system. Right now we just go by support the Eagle Falcon Twitch stream. And you can still do that, of course. That still supports me and the podcast, but we kind of want to have a bit of a separation. So we're going to be switching to Patreon. We're going to be trying to incorporate some more incentives for that. And we're going to see how it goes. But the main reason is so that there is one central location for the podcast, including an embedded player. It's just going to look better than just having the face of Eagle Eyes on Tech just be the Spreaker page, which in the end is nice and all, but going to Spreaker.com/whatever the heck it is, I don't even know what it is off the top of my head. It's nowhere near as smooth as, say, going to EagleEyesOnTech.com, which, no, don't. Not officially a website yet. I haven't even decided on the domain name. That's all going to be coming down the pike. It's going to be about a few months out of the way. The point is that this is to tell you what our plan is, and if you want to support, you can still do it at twitch.tv/Eagle_Falcon. Thank you for the support, and that concludes this little message/rant, disguised as an ad, but not really an ad. I don't even know what this was. Oh well, bye. There's no cookies. I looked through the entire kitchen. I'm out of cookies. This is an actual crisis. Mid-podcast. There's no cookies after Discord put out its hateful brainwashing video that pushed a pro-cookie agenda. Alright, in all seriousness, welcome back, Eagle Eyes on Tech. I am Eagle Falcon. Alright, enough about cookies, enough about everything. Let's switch over to talking about the news that's kind of not really news, but still kind of news, sort of, not really. This was made a big deal, but I'm going to go through and tell you why it's not all that big a deal. It's the Twitch partnership with Chess.com. Alright, now, some people are saying this is a big, major deal, because it means that streamers who are affiliated with Chess.com can become Twitch partners sooner. That's not what it means. It isn't. This is big news, though, that it means that we're going to see more streams on Twitch.tv that are showing competitive chess. And it does mean that those people in competitions will more than likely see bigger prize pools for competitive chess. But this, by no stretch of the imagination, means that chess players will become Twitch partners infinitely easier than any other kind of streamer. It's nothing like that. But it does mean that when you go to Twitch.tv, you are more likely to see, like, world tournaments for speed chess or various varieties of chess. It's very similar to what they've done with poker in the past, or other things like the various TV show marathons they've been doing. So, this is news. It's not, like, earth-shattering news. Like, a lot of people who first forwarded me this story thought it was. Alright? Everyone got it? Good. Basically means there's going to be chess on Twitch. Let's move on to something I meant to talk about last week and completely forgot to talk about. And that is the Razer phone. Razer, if you don't know, they are a company that specifically makes gear for PC gamers. Alright? They're the ones who make things like they make mechanical keyboards, they make mice, the headset I'm wearing right now is a Razer headset. They make high-priced gaming laptops that are, I honestly think, should have a serious cooling problem, but I've never had a chance to stress test one, so I don't know if they do or not. Oh, what else have they made? They've made a tablet. But anyway, they have a very hard focus on gamers. And now they released a phone. A device that everyone wants to pretend makes you a gamer, but it really doesn't. So, what makes the Razer phone a phone for gamers? Well, let's go through their site point by point and see how much of it actually makes it a very gaming-focused phone. Alright, smoother, brighter, and faster. Enjoy a stunning screen backed by ultra-motion technology that delivers refresh rates of up to 120 Hz. This means zero lag or stuttering Just fluid, buttery, smooth motion content for you to enjoy. And with a Quad HD display boasting high color gamut, everything looks vibrant and sharp. Okay, so that sounds like a fairly high-end phone. That sounds like an overwhelming majority of the high-end phones, but let's move on. True-to-life cinematic audio. With Dolby Atmos, enjoy a cinematic sound experience all around you. Reproduced through front-firing speakers and dual amplifiers. When you're listening with headphones, hardware certified with THX guarantees audiophile quality sound for your entertainment. Alright, so first off, that second part, it's any audiophile will tell you it depends more on the headphones you're using rather than the hardware they're connected into. Both make a difference, but don't expect it to sound good if you just put in your $5 earbuds. Now, that being said, as much as I criticize that, front-facing speakers, thank God. I can't count how many times I look at a tablet that's supposed to be a major media device, and it's got side-mounted speakers! Or worse, rear-mounted speakers. Because you know what I love? I love being able to watch the latest episode of Final Fantasy Machina Bridge or whatever the heck, and the person across from me hearing it better than I do. That's obnoxious. And by the way, Apple fanboys, although your guys finally did put one front-facing speaker, the fact that there's one on the side still annoys me. It annoys me to no end. So don't even think of trying to claim that as a brilliant move Apple did, because they still screwed up. So if you're keeping score, that's Razer 1, Apple 0. Performance and optimized design. Powered by the latest Qualcomm Snapdragon 835 with 8 gigabytes of RAM. Get the ultimate viewing experience and gaming experience backed by superior battery life for longer enjoyment. Fine-tune your experience with Game Booster, confident that best-in-class thermal design produces less throttling to fully maximize your phone's power and performance. So, let's quickly look up what kind of power the Qualcomm Snapdragon 835 is packing, shall we? Now, if I'm not mistaken, and I might be, because it's been a while since I looked at it, I'm pretty sure the 835 is, in fact, the one that's in the current Note, whatever the heck they're on. 7? 8? Whatever the most recent Note phone is. Alright, so, our CPU. It is a 2.45 gigahertz CPU with 8 cores. Now, one thing I can't tell on this, I'm trying to quickly find it on the fly here, is if all 8 cores are at that clock speed. Because normally how these sort of processors work in phones is that 4 of the cores are the high-powered ones and 4 of them are lower clocked. Apple's side speaker isn't invocation you and the industry will come to appreciate. Says, innovation. This is from Unjust Man in the chat, of which I can taste the sarcasm dripping off that comment. Just no. The side speaker is terrible, and I wish that Apple never... I know Apple's the first one who did it. The side speaker on the side speaker, which granted, that was a step up from the rear-facing speaker that was in smartphones before then. But it should not have taken much brains to figure out, maybe a front-facing speaker would be smarter. Oh, okay, I see how this works. So, the CPU is now Oh, sorry about that. The CPU is now dynamic in the fact that you no longer need a second set of CPUs for the low-powered. So yes, all 8 of those cores are used at once. So this phone is rocking an octa-core CPU at 2.45 gigahertz on each core at max. So this thing better have a really good battery in it, because otherwise this thing can just destroy a battery. No questions asked. A camera for any occasion. With 12 megapixel dual cameras, you have complete versatility whether you're snapping a group shot or zooming in on the action. Smoothly transition from the 1.7-inch wide-angle lens to the 2x telephoto lens to frame the perfect shot. And with a dual-tone flash, colors always look balanced and natural. This is the same sort of camera that the iPhone 7 has as well. And I'll give credit to Apple there. They were the first ones to do that, and that was a smart thing to do. I'm also glad that everyone else is also jumping on board that bandwagon. So, good camera. Good. It just keeps going. Equipped it with a 4,000 milliamp battery, one of the largest capacities found in any smartphone. The Razer phone provides the absolute freedom to watch, listen, and play as much as you want without ever being caught with a red battery bar. Oh, really? Really? That's, yeah, that is a very large capacity. It's not the largest. And I guarantee you, if it's running Android, that's not going to last very long. Especially doing all the stuff that Razer's trying to say it can do. So it's not rocking like some universally powerful, like 6,000 milliamp battery, which would be insane, by the way. It is just a 4,000, which is, on a scale of 1 to 10, like a 7. A solid 7. But if you're planning on doing all sorts of mobile gaming and whatnot, and apparently watching the Final Fantasy 15 movie like it says on its screen, you are going to need to bring a second battery with you. Definitely bring that second battery. Especially rocking an 8-core processor and, what was that, a 4K screen? Quad HD, so a 2K screen. Yeah. Bring an extra battery. And of course, after that, they've got various accessories, rugged phone case, their Hammerhead, Bluetooth headphones, etc. Etc., etc. Some of the tech specs at a glance here. Let me see if there's anything that stands out. Storage as internal 64 gigabytes with a micro SD card that can handle up to 2 terabytes in it. Thank God. And the actual specs is a 5.7-inch LCD, specifically an IGZO LCD, 1440 by 2560, with Corning Gorilla Glass 3. That's actually good. I'm glad that it's LCD instead of OLED. Just because I've been losing a lot of faith in OLED lately. Front camera is an 8 megapixel is 8 megapixel front facing. Both rear cameras are 12 megapixels. No surprise there. Front facing speakers. 802.11ac, Bluetooth 4.0, has NFC built into it. I don't know enough about the various bands. I'm not sure what carriers is going to be compatible with. From what little I'm looking at, it looks like it's compatible with almost all of the LTE bands, so it should be compatible on all carriers. But one thing I'm not seeing, unfortunately, is a headphone jack. The bottom of the phone, we get a shot of that. You can see a USB Type-C connector. I only see one picture that is a shot of the top. Man. Unfortunately, it's a pretty small picture. We are literally doing CSI level stuff live to see if there's a headphone jack. There is no headphone jack. We can now confirm the Razer phone has no headphone jack. So it has followed Apple and Google. And I don't think Samsung has done it yet. But it's followed everyone in the elimination of the headphone jack. And that is actually kind of sad. No price has been announced yet for the Razer phone. It's not even out yet. If I had to guess, I'm willing to bet this is going to be a $800, $900 phone. Maybe it'll be a $1,000 phone. But we don't know yet. We also don't even know what flavor of Android it's running. It hasn't said that either. Let me just quickly look through this. Yeah, it doesn't say. Either way, there you have it. The phone for gamers. On a platform with no real high quality games. Alright. Let's move on to the Intel announcement. In news that I knew about these rumors, but I never reported on them because, I'll be real honest, I never looked into them at all. And never trusted them. But they apparently were all confirmed true. Intel is announcing new CPUs to integrate AMD graphics. Yeah. Intel is teaming up with AMD so that down the road, Intel can have real graphic chips integrated in with their CPUs. Now, I never trusted these rumors for one big reason. Why would AMD give Intel the one advantage they have. That never passed the smell test to me. It always seemed more likely that Intel would turn to NVIDIA. But for whatever reason, AMD, after finally making a breakthrough in their CPUs, finally becoming competitive with Intel, and things finally looking sunny for AMD, combining Zen and their AMD GPU technology, just gave it all to Intel. I don't think I will ever know if this was a smart move or not. Would it have been better for AMD to just keep doing what they've been doing, coming out with Zen-based CPUs along with Vega GPUs on it, and competing head-to-head with Intel and gaining market share in that way, or just caving in and being in a bunch of low to mid-tier Intel chips and gaining a small portion of that? Part of me wants to assume that this is better for AMD, but I don't know. And I don't think there's anyone who does know. I don't even think AMD and Intel know yet. I don't think they're going to know whether this was a good move or not until much further down the road. But there you have it. Expect to see a wave of low and mid-range laptops using mid-powered AMD GPUs and Intel CPUs very, very soon. And so with that, we move on to the last burb. The last burb, the last story of the day, and what I hope is the silliest story of the day. NVIDIA announces collector's editions of their Titan XP. For $1,200, you can purchase a Titan XP, which is their most expensive gaming graphic card, to have green or red lights on it that are Star Wars themed. The red one is the dark side themed, the green one is the light side themed. There's nothing else special about them. It's just the cooler on them. So, here's my question. How many people are interested in getting a Titan XP in the first place? Who wants to go spend $1,000 for $500 worth of graphic card? Nobody has their hands raised? Oh, okay. That's what I thought. All right. So, how many people want to spend $1,200 to go get $500 worth of graphic card to have Star Wars themed lights on them? Wait. I think I see one person raising their hand in the back. And that's about it. So, do you know why I think this was the dumbest thing that NVIDIA could have possibly done? Do you want to know how NVIDIA could have made so much more money? How this promotion with Star Wars could have been a success? It's actually not that hard to figure out. It isn't. I don't know how. You pick a graphic card that more people can actually afford, and then do it with that. Pick a 1070 or a 1080 or the 1080 Ti. And I guarantee you, this would have had a better chance of being wanted at all. It's just seriously. Who's gonna go collect this besides not even the 1%, the 0.01%? So silly. That's gonna do it for me, guys. Thank you for listening. We hope to see you next time, right here on Eagle Eyes on Tech. Bye-bye.